Pro Wrestling 225 fans, it is General Manager Brett Ian Landry, and I, just like all of you, saw that Korey Konstantine revealed himself as the masked man that had been assaulting Steve Anthony and Vordell Walker. Now, I've heard from both Steve Anthony and Vordell who want their hands on Korey Konstantine, and I'm going to give it to them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give it to them in a triple threat match. They can settle their score with Korey and each other, one-on-one at Validation in Houma.
Soul of Pro Wrestling 225, Korey Konstantine. Somebody help me off this thing.
Pro Wrestling 225 family, welcome back to Unleashed. We are here at Validation in Houma, Louisiana. Alexis Windsor and Spencer Hunt here, and we have an epic triple threat main event tonight. Korey Konstantine, the masked figure from Fright Night nearly a year ago, is facing the consequences of his actions in triple threat action as he goes up against Steve Anthony. Also, Vordell Walker, the ring wrecker. That's sure to be an epic main event tonight.
Absolutely right. But to get our action started this evening, we are going to hear from none other than Big Ramp Enterprises.
Let's get unleashed. We heard from Big Ramp, from Hunter Law, and from Gil Gracie prior to Validation. They said they would be here. It was at Bases Loaded where we saw Big Ramp align himself with the Movement Wrestling champion Hunter Law. And it's sort of like Aerosmith aligning with Run DMC for Walk This Way. Except I don't think people are gonna like this one as much. The rock and rap mashup nobody asked for. Hunter Law saying Big Ramp Enterprises just got a huge upgrade. And look at this team, Gil Gracie and Hunter Law. Here comes Mustang Mike. And out goes Big Ramp Enterprises. We know Gil Gracie turned his back on Mustang Mike. And there's a score to settle. They used to be the kings of old school. Listen to this place come unglued for Mustang Mike Alexis. Houma letting Gil Gracie hear it.
You know trust and faith in you. After 20 years of us fighting, we became a team, a great team, tag team champions. And you chose to turn your back and fight me. You chose to turn your back on me by losing the titles to some chumps.
Oh.
You're a chump, Mustang Mike. I'm the king of old school. I am the king of old school.
Of course, referring to the GSW tag team titles there, Alexis. Gil Gracie thinking he's too good for that tag team.
We're a member of the kings of old school, and now you're not but an old fool.
Oh. From old school to old fool.
What?
I've seen it too many times.
Seems like you got a tag team partner. And since I'm wearing the new Kings of Old School shirt, go in here. I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of old friends.
We're going to see a new member? New member of Kings of Old School.
Walk in the ring right there.
Who could it be?
I wish you would bring the GT.
Oh, wait. I know that music. It's Stan, the man, Sweetan. Are you kidding me?
Dan Sweetan here at Pro Wrestling 225.
Louisiana legend. He hasn't had a match in Pro Wrestling 225 in 6 years. Hunter Law said that there was a huge upgrade, that Gil Gracie upgraded from the Kings of Old School with BRE and Hunter Law, but I think maybe Mustang Mike is the one that upgraded with Stan Sweetan.
If you don't know who this man is, we were former tag team champions in this building for many years. You're the oldest friends that I have, the oldest enemies that I have, but tonight, Sweet Stan, I'd like you to be a king.
Oh, there it is.
How about that?
Don't you say my name, don't you put my shirt on. Don't you dare put my shirt on, Stan. I will stomp the living snot out of you.
Gil Gracie insists.
Listen to me. I'm the king of old school. Hey, you can keep the shirt. Give us a ref and let's get down to business.
Okay, we're going to have a match here tonight.
We're gonna see it. It's gonna be a tag team match. Mustang Mike and Stan Sweetan, the kings of old school, if you will, taking on Big Ramp Enterprises, Gil Gracie, and the Movement Wrestling champion, Hunter Law. What a way to kick off this episode of Unleashed. Of course, Alexis Windsor and I here at ringside.
And Stan Sweetan, new member of the Kings of Old School, is going to start the action off here in this very ring now.
If you would have told me before the night started that we were going to see Gil Gracie and Stan Sweetan facing off in the ring, I would have called you a liar, Alexis. Mustang Mike, of course, the only Grand Slam champion in the history of Pro Wrestling 225. Stan Sweetan has had as many Louisiana wrestling titles as you can count. What a team. Gotta wonder if Gil Gracie is talking all this trash because there's a little bit of doubt there, Alexis. What do you think?
Maybe. Stan Sweetan's pretty intimidating.
And here we
Oh,
go.
you see?
Stan tagging in Mustang.
Yeah,
This
Mustang
is
wants a bit of Gil Gracie.
absolutely. And we're going to see it right here in Houma, Louisiana. Mustang and Gil at it again. Here we go. Oh, what a joke.
Gil Gracie evading Mustang Mike and has tagged in Hunter Law now.
Who looks all too happy to be a new member of BRE.
Hunter Law, of course, our Movement Wrestling champion and previous one half of the tag team champions with Purple Haze.
That's absolutely right. It's been a good year for Hunter Law in Pro Wrestling 225. Especially now having Ramp and Gracie, and look at that.
I feel that he's aligned himself with a strong manager with Big Ramp.
And a former two-time Pro Wrestling 225 heavyweight champion in Gil Gracie. Hunter Law said it himself, the birth of a super group here in Pro Wrestling 225.
Always got to get that music referencing.
Yeah, absolutely. But Hunter Law, even if he's got Gil Gracie in his corner, can't stop him from being on the receiving end of Mustang Mike here as he whips him across. And another shoulder tackle bringing Hunter Law down. The resident rock star getting rocked here in Houma.
I do admit, I do like doing Hunter Law's introductions.
Yeah, you know.
That's a lot of fun. No matter what we say about him, that's a lot of fun to do.
It's the worst when somebody you don't like does something cool.
Yeah,
so
I know.
annoying.
So annoying.
Speaking of, Gil Gracie
Oh,
now happy to take it to Mustang Mike when he's on his back.
you know, I was wondering how this new super group, as Hunter Law termed it, we're going to work together, because sometimes with super groups, you get a lot of egos in the same place, and it's difficult to, you know, work well together. But so far, teaming up pretty nicely.
And it's got to be a bit of a surprise, because let me tell you, there is no shortage of egos between Gil Gracie, Big Ramp, and Hunter Law.
That's right.
But now Gil Gracie more than happy to tag in now that Mustang Mike is reeling. Big right.
Oh,
But
you see, look at that. Gil Gracie running away.
unbelievable. But that looked like part of the plan, right? Gil Gracie suckering Mustang Mike in so that Hunter Law can knock him down.
Strategic in the way that that team works, I feel.
Absolutely. And now he's got Mustang Mike in the corner. Big chop.
You see, could that be the advantage? They're a new super group, but seem to be working quite seamlessly together. Stan Sweetan, Mustang Mike, don't know how recently they've worked together, probably quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, we said it once before, but Stan Sweetan hasn't had a match in 225 since 2018. So you know he and Mustang Mike haven't exactly been running the roads together, you know, like they used to. Gil Gracie absolutely with the upper hand here on the leader of the Boom Nation. But Mustang Mike fighting back, and the second Mustang gets a punch in comes Hunter Law. Gil Gracie really has no interest in a fair fight with Mustang Mike.
No, this is about making a point.
And Hunter Law, a cheap shot on Stan Sweetan. And Hunter Law, the young one of the group, right? Just brash and cocky and full of disrespect for the guys that allowed him to be in that ring to begin with.
Exactly. Typical rock star.
Typical rock star. Listen to this.
The strength there from Mustang Mike. Oh my goodness.
Stalling suplex. Sending Law to the mat below. Mustang follows it up with a leg drop and a cover. Gracie in to break things up. And another stomp for good measure.
I do not envy Eddie Irons trying to keep control of this match.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
much tension here between these two teams.
Law backing Mustang up into the corner, whips him across. And what does Hunter Law have in mind here?
Took too long, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody saw that coming. Yeah, absolutely. Mustang Mike gets out of the way, hits a big bulldog.
Goes for the cover.
And again, Gil Gracie.
Gil Gracie there to break up that pin.
But here comes Stan Sweetan, the legal man here in this match. A couple of elbows there. And now Stan Sweetan turns his attention to Hunter Law.
Oh,
Man, all
my
power
God, just
from Stan.
threw him down.
Whips Law across.
Hunterlaw's looking a little dazed there.
Oh, and it's going to get worse. Sleeper there.
Dazed and confused. That's my Led Zeppelin reference.
That was really well done.
Thank you.
But Law able to back Stan into his own corner, and now they're just absolutely assaulting Stan in the corner. And how about this, Alexis Windsor? I'm going to take you all the way back to Super Gold 1,
Oh.
the very first event in the history of Pro Wrestling 225. Gil Gracie versus Stan Sweetan that night,
Really?
with Stan Sweetan picking up the win, if you can believe it.
And we're in Super Gold. Super Gold 9?
Yeah, coming up on Super Gold
Okay,
9
okay.
next year. Gil Gracie, years later, maybe trying to avenge his loss to
Maybe.
Stan.
Maybe it's personal in many ways, this match.
But again, Mustang Mike trying to level the playing field, but it's just a 2-on-1 assault in the other corner.
Again, that's just that, when we see tag teams working so well together, it's just that seamless transition from one to the other, in and out of the ring.
You're absolutely right. But Stan Sweetan exploding out of the corner, taking Hunter Law down, and now in comes the leader of the Boom Nation. See how well the new kings of old school are working together now.
That's right, but I feel that it's Hunter Law who's really taken the brunt of this offense from the kings of old school.
Yeah, that absolutely. Well, Gil Gracie doesn't want to be in there.
No, he doesn't.
And a big back body drop. Oh. Law dropping Mustang and then following it up with a knee. And now again, Mustang Mike is down, so Gil Gracie, here he comes. Like clockwork.
How much are we going to see now from Gil Gracie in the ring, though, I wonder? He's definitely got Mustang Mike on the back foot, though.
You have to imagine this is no surprise from Gil Gracie and Big Ramp. We saw them like this for so long. It's part of how Gil Gracie was the first two-time heavyweight champion in Pro Wrestling 225. The reign of Gil Gracie, one of the biggest runs in the history of the company.
Yeah.
And so Gil Gracie, you have to figure, was only going to play Mr. Nice Guy for so long.
He definitely has a mean streak.
And it's showing again here in Houma. Another tag back into Pro Wrestling 225's resident rock star.
And really, Mustang Mike in the worst possible place in this ring right now.
Well, and you said it earlier, Alexis, right? Frequent tags are a sign of a team working well together,
Yeah,
and it's happening right here.
We've just had another one right there. They are not letting Mustang Mike out of that opposing corner.
Stan Sweetan may as well be in a different zip code.
Yeah. He really needs to try to get that tag, though.
He absolutely does, but right now he's getting his neck cranked by Hunter Law and an elbow to the top of the skull. This submission is bad enough, Alexis, but Big Ramp yelling in the face of Mustang as it's happening. Stan trying to get the crowd behind, and just, I don't understand this. Our official distracted, and Gil Gracie coming in just to place a couple boots.
Yeah,
to
the
face
team
of
from
Mustang.
BRE taking every possible opportunity and exploit that they can.
Mustang Mike, though, trying to work his way back to his feet. Uh-oh. Look at the strength. Hunter Law in no man's land.
That is not a good position to be in, and he knows it. Oh!
Oh, the electric guitar drop to Hunter
That was
Law.
good.
I think And this could be Mustang Mike's moment. Can he make it to Stan Sweetan in the corner? Houma firmly behind him, Alexis. Can he do it?
Huntelaw needs to make that tag as well, which he does to Gil Gracie.
Gracie and Sweetan now the legal men. Stan cleaning house here. A couple of elbows taking both men down. This thing getting a little out of hand now, Alexis.
This is where it gets personal.
Meeting of the minds. And how about this? Mustang going for the boom drop. Listen to this place. But ramp.
Oh, no.
Distracting Mustang Mike. Hunter Law, a big super kick to Sweetan. Oh, and there's one straight to the chin. Oh, Death Valley driver from the Mad Dog to Mustang. And being in Big Ramp Enterprises pays dividends, Alexis.
It absolutely does. BRE not letting up now on Mustang Mike.
No, Eddie Irons has got to get control of this thing.
Yeah. How though? How do you do that with these men in the ring?
Well, and they know that.
Yeah.
Law and Gracie know that no one's going to stop them. Throws Mustang across weight. Mustang reverses, and Gil Gracie gets sent into Hunter Law.
Like two cymbals crashing.
Oh, and a huge spear. Law pushing Gracie out of the way, and then gets sawed in half. I believe Stan and Gil are still the legal men.
No, thank you. I did wonder.
But Stan Sweetan, TKO, cover on Law. And that's it. Stan pins Hunter Law. And how about that? Kings of Old School. Turning things around on Big Ramp Enterprises tonight at Validation.
And did you see that at the end, Mustang Mike preventing Gil Gracie from entering that ring to disrupt that pin again?
Absolutely
that was smart.
Right. What a return by Stan Sweetan. Alexis, what do you make of these Kings of Old School now?
They are certainly standing tall now.
Gil Gracie still claiming to be the self-proclaimed singular king of Old School.
Yeah, he's still running off with that t-shirt, still holding his arms up high, but
Big Ramp here can't be happy with this debut of his super group, but still seems very comfortable with the guys he has, despite the fact that they are on the losing end tonight, as Mustang and Stan Sweetan take care of business here in Houma.
Don't think this is over. We far from done, son. Bring your ass back out here if you're a man. Come on.
Mustang Mike challenging the Mad Dog.
and the Mad Dog Gil Gracie is doing exactly what I would expect. Retreating behind the curtain.
A lot of bark, not a lot of bite tonight from the Mad Dog. But the Kings of Old School stand tall at Validation.
Pro Wrestling 225 finally has a woman in the locker room that measures up. I am the Quadzilla T Gaines and the owner of the finest quads in women's wrestling, measuring at 28 inches. I am here to make Pro Wrestling 225 quad stomping grounds.
The following contest is scheduled for one triple threat match with no time limit.
You shouldn't have forgotten about me so quickly. You omitted my name from the conversation of the greats. I made sure to put it back. Those are the words of Korey Konstantine, who at bases loaded revealed himself to be the masked man behind the attack of Steve Anthony and Vordell Walker all the way back at Fright Night nearly a year ago. Korey Konstantine just can't help but be the center of attention. And tonight, he's looking to make sure that he stays in that conversation of the greats at the expense of Vordell Walker and Steve Anthony.
Cut the music, cut the music. I didn't hear my name, and I sure as hell didn't hear about all my accomplishments, of which are several.
Well, that's okay. Only half of that's true.
Introducing first, he is a two-time Pro Wrestling 225 champion with the longest combined and single title reigns. He is the backbone of Pro Wrestling 225. He has stated that he will wreck the ring record, and that there is no question he is better than the exclamation point and the best in the South. Period. And the perfect amount of none of your business, hailing from the holy city of Austin, Texas, and gracing you with his presence in the town, serving as Austin's designated waste landfill, Houma, Louisiana. No validation required. Korey Konstantine.
Here's the deal. I think it is altogether possible that Korey Konstantine should be in the conversation of the best ever in 225. The accomplishments speak for themselves. The problem is that he won't let them. He has to make sure that you hear every single bit of what he's accomplished here in Pro Wrestling 225. And he wants to make sure that Steve Anthony and Vordell Walker don't forget it either, which is why he attacked them at Fright Night, and probably why he's aligned himself with somebody as deranged as Lucha LaCora. But when you think about greats in Louisiana, in the South, and in Pro Wrestling 225, you have to include a former Pro Wrestling 225 heavyweight champion in his own right, the ring wrecker, Vordell Walker. A noticeably shorter ring introduction for Vordell Walker, because he's the kind of man that's going to let his actions whether you agree with them or not, speak for themselves. Vordell Walker is in better shape, it feels like, every single time we see him. And remember, it was in this building, Houma, Louisiana, Fright Night, almost a year ago, where Vordell Walker beat Steve Anthony. And quite frankly, in part due to Korey Konstantine's interference when he was wearing a mask. But here to put an exclamation point on validation, the king of the 450, Steve Anthony, back in Pro Wrestling 225 here tonight with a score to settle. No doubt with Korey Konstantine, but absolutely with Vordell Walker as well. And you can see the stare down already. Listen to Houma, Louisiana. It was Steve Anthony who defeated Korey Konstantine in Pro Wrestling 225 in 2019. And that was Konstantine's last loss for a long time. That's sort of what set him off on this incredible run towards not one but two heavyweight championship reigns. And of course, I don't need to tell you about the history between Vordell Walker and Steve Anthony. Steve Anthony coming out of retirement to battle Vordell Walker after being constantly harassed and lured into action. And you can tell there is still so much to be decided between those two men. Oh, and I think Steve Anthony might have an introduction of his own to give to Alexis Windsor. Looks like we're not going to be able to hear it. We are underway just like that. Korey Konstantine not willing to share the spotlight with Steve Anthony.
My goodness.
Thank goodness you got out of there, Alexis.
Oh, it was a close one.
An epic main event here on this episode of Unleashed. Three of the greats here in Pro Wrestling 225. Oh, Konstantine taken down by Vordell Walker there. It seemed to me, Alexis, by the way, you did a great job.
Thank you so much.
I was very interested in Steve Anthony's introduction, but Korey Konstantine not willing to share the spotlight.
Well, exactly. He thinks that he is the greatest and obviously doesn't want to, as you say, share that spotlight with Steve Anthony. But the two of them very fond of long, overblown introductions.
Isn't that the truth? But you notice here, it looked like the spotlight, looked like the attention was shifting to this feud between Steve Anthony and Vordell Walker, and Korey Konstantine pulling Vordell out of the ring just to make sure he's still part of the conversation.
Korey Konstantine himself, obviously revealing himself. Oh, hold on.
Oh my
God!
Steve Anthony, I think you were about to say in his introduction, hailing from the heavens, and he comes crashing down on both Konstantine and Vordell Walker.
Oh. Korey Konstantine getting some payback there for that.
We knew when this matchup was announced that it was going to be brutal.
I don't even think we're safe here at the commentary table.
Absolutely not.
Oh my God.
Vordell Walker going into the ring post.
Into the ring post, yep. Oh my God.
Anthony.
There's so much going on here, I can't even get my words.
This action is absolutely heated.
As I think I was saying before, Korey Konstantine, of course, revealing himself as the masked, I don't even know what to say, the masked.
Right, figure with the kendo stick, right? Like he was the one that laid in with a kendo stick on both Anthony and Walker at Fright Night. Ooh, big knee there, taking down the ring record.
And of course, his point there being that he thinks he is the greatest. He is saying that people forgot about him too quickly, and they should not have done that. He is the greatest, and he should be in that conversation.
And here's the deal. I think you're right, Alexis, and I think Korey Konstantine is right to some regard. He is. The record speaks for itself.
Yep.
But with that said, this feud with Anthony and Vordell Walker is none of his business.
It's not, no.
And he might be paying for sticking his nose into that business right now.
Oh my God.
Superplex from the top. This thing might be over just like that. Pinning Konstantine, but a kick out at 2.
I expected this match to be hard-hitting, fast, and it is not disappointing.
Absolutely, living up to the billing immediately. Walker not holding anything back with that strike. But Konstantine, one was enough, and he is up and over. And Anthony delivering a strike of his own, that chop, again ringing out against the chest of Konstantine. Alexis, what does one of these competitors have to do to try to score a pinfall here? This thing is so fast-paced, and these guys are so good at the top of their game.
So fast, so hard-hitting. And there's no time between it as well. I think you have to incapacitate both of them to some degree. Keep one out of the way while you can get the pin on the other.
And interesting, I heard you say earlier as Walker goes for a pin, and it's just a 2 there. No time limit in this match, is that right?
No time limit, yep. Yep, our general manager, Ian Landry, wants to let this play out and let these men beat 7 bells out of each other.
Well, and we might just see it. Konstantine holding onto the leg of Vordell Walker, but Walker turns it around, hits that enziguri, and another pinfall attempt on Konstantine. Now a kick out there.
Now we know, of course, that Vordell Walker and Steve Anthony, this has been brewing for a while between them. A lot of unresolved issues.
Absolutely, a story over a year and a half in the making, and really longer than that, these two trying to prove who's the best in Louisiana.
Yep, and I think that's the key point, trying to prove who's the best in Louisiana, which is why Korey Konstantine has inserted himself into this argument between the two of them.
I think you're right, because he thinks he should be in that conversation, the Mount Rushmore of Louisiana, but he just was on the receiving end of a belly-to-belly suplex. And now it looks like Vordell and Steve Anthony trying to take turns on who gets their shot at Konstantine.
It's funny that Korey Konstantine says that, given he seems to hate Louisiana so much.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Ooh, big forearm. Vordell Walker not known for taking it easy on his opponents in the
No,
ring.
absolutely not.
Interesting enough here as Konstantine goes down after the big whip across from Walker. Interesting to note, Konstantine alone here at ringside. We saw earlier at Validation on last week's episode of Unleashed the sort of formation of the Killjoys.
The Killjoys, that's right, yeah.
Oh! How about that foot? That kick from Steve Anthony to Korey Konstantine. Talk about a Killjoy.
I mean, I kind of don't blame Brooklyn Barrett and Lucha Lacora. I would not want to be anywhere near these other two in the ring.
No, absolutely not. I think Lucha Lacora got all he could want and more from Steve Anthony at bases loaded.
Absolutely.
And now here we go. I think this is what Anthony and Walker wanted. Korey Konstantine is here, sure, but it's really all about these two men finally getting their hands on each other. But as soon as I say that, Konstantine again inserting himself into their business.
And this is when you were asking me what's it. Hold on.
Oh.
What is it going to take? You cannot turn your back on one of these competitors for 1 second. Oh, look at this. Konstantine mimicking and mocking Steve Anthony.
And the crowd did not appreciate it.
They did not. A lot of Steve Anthony fans here in Houma, Louisiana.
As there should be. Korey Konstantine taking his eye off the prize for a moment. And yeah, it may have just been long enough for Steve Anthony to regroup. And here he goes, going for a suplex. Konstantine able to reverse. And look at this. Oh! Beautifully done from Korey Konstantine. The cover, is he going to pick up the win here tonight in Houma? No, a kick out at 2.
I think that's the move he's calling end of the road, I believe.
I think you're absolutely right. And it nearly was the end of the road for the exclamation point. And you think your introduction was long before this match. If Korey Konstantine picks up the win.
Oh my goodness. He's going to have more accolades to add.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a commercial break halfway through his introduction.
And my ring announcing card's going to be like a CVS receipt. Oh.
Anthony gets up high and gets Konstantine there.
It's not a comfortable position for Korey Konstantine right there.
Absolutely not. But it's what he deserves after the Brit Twit comment. That wasn't very called.
Did you hear that? Horrendous. So disrespectful.
Really unnecessary.
He's absolutely the worst.
He's a killjoy.
He is a killjoy, 100%. Couldn't have picked a better name.
Anthony meeting Konstantine up top. Konstantine already on the receiving end of one superplex, but Vordell Walker. This doesn't look good, Alexis.
This has bad news written. Oh my God. Korey Konstantine's still standing though.
And the cover. Oh, and a kick out at 2 by Steve Anthony. Now he's turning to Walker and a kick out at 2. Konstantine trying to be opportunistic and take advantage there. Vordell Walker sort of set Konstantine up, maybe unintentionally, but Konstantine almost capitalized and picked up the win.
He did, and visibly frustrated right now. Understandably so. That has been his best opportunity all night. I'm the best, I think he's saying.
Who's he trying to prove it to? Anthony or Walker?
Or
to
himself.
himself?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
Knees to the back of the skull of both of his opponents here, but one too many times to Walker. Konstantine bouncing off of the ropes there. And straight to the jaw.
Konstantine is rattled and reeling.
I'm a little bit surprised Konstantine's still in one piece.
I mean, I don't think he could do much else at that point other than just roll out the ring. I don't think he even had much control over that.
And he may be down for the count here at Validation. And if you look, that means turn your attention back to the ring and look at this stare down. Steve Anthony, Vordell Walker about to get it on here at Validation.
Yeah, and again, no love lost between these two.
This is what it's all about, Alexis.
Absolutely. There will be no holding back once this gets started now in the ring. Oh, another mocking gesture to Steve Anthony.
Anthony not taking kindly to it. Big forearm. And now they're trading back and forth.
And these blows are absolutely landing. Vicious attacks from both men.
Who is the best man? Who is the real Louisiana legend?
As we see Konstantine getting back in the ring.
Hits that huge spin kick on Walker. Just refuses to be left out of the conversation, Alexis.
Maybe he just needed to, catch a breather on the outside.
Looks like could be going for a backslide. Who's going to get the upper hand here?
It's kind of like a battle of strengths there.
Up and over goes Konstantine. What does Steve Anthony have in mind? Absolutely perfect. And now, that's right, here we go.
He is the king of the 450 after all.
One of the most beautiful moves in professional wrestling. Steve Anthony has Konstantine right where he wants him. Here we go.
Oh,
absolutely
beautiful.
Pitch perfect.
Oh, but
what does Vordell Walker have?
What is that? I don't know.
Anthony trying to fight out of it. Oh, and just takes a big right hand instead.
Is he lighting something on fire?
He's trying to, and Konstantine gonna make him pay for it. Out of the way he goes. Cover 2, and a kick out at 2 from Anthony. I think Steve Anthony may have had this thing won on Korey Konstantine, but got distracted by Vordell with whatever he had up his sleeve. Korey Konstantine now looking to take advantage. Small package inside. Korey Konstantine
that's it.
gets the job done.
Your winner of this match, Korey Konstantine.
But look, already, Vordell Walker
And
immediately.
I don't think referee DJ Petrie sees that.
Well, the match is
Now
over.
he does. Yep.
Korey Konstantine takes advantage of the opportunity presented to him by Vordell Walker and picks up the win here tonight at Validation. But Vordell Walker, the attention absolutely on Steve Anthony now.
Yeah, it looks like he is not finished with Steve Anthony.
This is not going to be good, Alexis.
Oh my God.
Brain buster onto the chair.
Vordell Walker obviously not satisfied coming away with the loss, but also not getting his pound of flesh with Steve Anthony. This does not look over between these two.
No, and Vordell Walker, just a boot across the face. Almost a hushed silence on the crowd here in Houma.
Just a look of utter shock, I think. He's going back for that, whatever he's setting fire to.
Maybe cooler heads prevailing here.
Yeah.
Vordell Walker living to fight another day. But Steve Anthony left down in the ring here in Houma.
Maybe we should go check on him. Yeah, make sure he's okay. Spencer Hunt going there to check on Steve Anthony. Having taken a brutal beating throughout that match, but then at the end from Vordell Walker. He seems to be okay. The crowd getting behind Steve Anthony here as well. Almost willing him to his feet.
Just Steve Anthony, I know how important Houma, Louisiana is to him. I know how important it is to be in front of his fans here and his family. And you can hear the respect they have for him.
Absolutely.
No.
Oh, why is he back out here again?
Now what? I think the brain buster on the chair was enough.
Something wrong with this man. What is he up to?
He just won't stop. Oh my God! Is that what he was trying for the whole time?
I think so. Waiting now until Steve Anthony's guard is down before delivering. Fire to the face. His eyes, oh my God. Eddie Irons in here with some first aid.
And Vordell Walker just smiling the whole time. Trying to do legitimately permanent damage to Steve Anthony. And you can see Steve Anthony's wife.
The cries of
here
agony
ringside.
from that ring as well. Oh my goodness.
But he just tried to catch the man's face on fire. It's completely uncalled for, way past the line.
Uncalled for, insane. Vordell Walker still smiling in that ring. Look at this.
Well, and here's the deal, Alexis, I understand. These guys are competitive. They want to be the best.
But the match was over.
The match was over.
There was absolutely no need for that. That was vicious, uncalled for.
Vordell Walker found the line and drove way past it tonight.
Absolutely.
Trying to get him the hell out of here.
Absolutely. All I can say is I hope there's repercussions from this. Vordell
General Manager Brett Ian Landry, President Jordy also here checking on Steve Anthony, who is just writhing in pain. We need to get this man help.
Yeah.
We need to get him to a hospital right now.
I think obviously security making sure that Vordell Walker clears out of the way before they move Steve Anthony. Quite rightfully so. Unpredictable, that.
And just look at Steve Anthony's wife and child. She looks terrified, as she should be. Absolutely unsettling actions here from Vordell Walker.
Looks like we're bringing some more water to the ring there. Our officials and staff helping Steve Anthony out of the ring there.
Taking everyone we have here.
Yeah. Again, such a vicious and unprovoked attack.
One of those rare moments in Pro Wrestling 225 where, you know, we love having terrific events. We love having the best athletes that you can find here in the 225 ring. But there are some times when a competitor takes it into their own hands to go too far.
Absolutely, and this was 100% one of those moments. Round of applause erupting now around the hall.
Yeah, Vordell Walker, I'd like to say formerly one of the most respected in Louisiana. But we can only hope for a full and safe recovery for Steve Anthony.